Good evening, sim racing fans, and welcome to Kentucky Speedway. It is round number 14 in the, 14 in the WCI Parts.com Truck Series here in Sim500 competition from beautiful Kentucky Speedway. The sun setting here. It's creating a beautiful landscape in the background for us up in the booth, and we're going to have some beautiful racing on track here momentarily. Qualification completing as we speak, about a minute or so left in that. Brian Macklin so far has quick time, and boy, top three only separated by 2/1000ths of a second. So we'll get to that here in just a minute. But we'll introduce you to everybody now. Mitch Rollo getting a picture that you see to you tonight, producing the show, doing double duty tonight as well on the microphone with me. And me, of course, Ben Kilcrease, the voice of the Sim Racing Network, or, you know, that could be somebody else, depending on what night it is, really. Nonetheless, though, set to go racing here at Kentucky Championship standings heading into tonight for the WCI Parts.com Truck Series. Now, this has all the drop races removed, and we'll continue to keep up with that over the course of the next couple weeks heading into the playoffs. Chad Cole, championship leader. 10 back of Cole is Nick Silver. Trey Edson third, 13 points back. Justin Fuller is fourth, and it's David Comstock, Chad Coleman, E.J. O'Rourke, Kevin Brown, Tommy Ryan, J.D. Laird. That's the top 10. Now the top 14, which will be part of the playoffs, goes to Jason Jacoby, Ryan Howard, Steve Gottschalk, Jason Barham, Brian Chambliss, Steve Ritter, 15th and 16th. Those two drivers on the outside looking in, as well as Brian Macklin, Michael Keaton, Doug Sigmund, a couple more back there within striking distance. If they make it to that point, you know, Mitch, every position on track going to be crucial for those guys outside looking in here over the next couple of weeks.
Definitely getting down to crunch time, Ben. It's going to be a fun few weeks coming up before the playoffs start. There's going to be a lot of drama. I think there's already been some drama this season here in the WCI Parts Truck Series, but it's bound to get a little more heat up here as we go down the stretch.
Looking for fireworks on the track under the lights tonight here at Kentucky, and it's now time to run you through that starting lineup. Inside of row number one, he'll lead us to the green flag. Set quick time with a 30.5 on the dot. Brian Macklin leads the front row alongside Trey Edson there in the number 40.
Starting in the inside of the second row, going to be the 33 of Ryan Howard, and his outside going to be the 88 of Jason Jacoby.
Nick Cohan's going to roll off fifth tonight in number 21. Outside of him, it'll be Anthony DeBarro making a surprise appearance in the WCI Parts.com Truck Series. He rolls off sixth.
Seventh going to be the 41 of E.J. O'Rourke, and to his outside, Jay Graves Jr., in the number 86 truck.
Chad Coleman rolls off ninth, and the 20, the 46 is J.D. Laird as the rest of the field set to scroll across the bottom of your screen. Now, fun fact, heading into tonight, the top 10 only separated by 98/1000ths of a second in qualification times. From 1st to 29th, just 3.5 separate this field. It's going to be a close race tonight. It's going to be a lot of give, a lot of take. And the drivers heading into tonight, we talked to a couple of them back in the garage area. Mitch fighting a very handful-y truck. I just said that. Handful of a truck tonight here at Kentucky. It gets loose on the long runs. It gets loose on the short runs. It's loose everywhere. So these guys going to have their hand fullies tonight.
Their hands are going to be fully here tonight in the WCI Parts Truck Series. Get ready to roll off the grid here. I'm going to be giggling about that one for about an hour and a half here as we make our way through this race. I'm probably going to bring it up a few times as well, Ben, but nonetheless, they're rolling off here, trying to get on track for 100 laps of action here.
Well, two drivers are going to have their hands full. Is going to be Anthony DeBarro and Nick Cohan. Both those drivers missed the grid, and they made up row number 3. So that boosts everybody up. Now David Comstock and Brandon Bowie have a chance to start inside the top 10 as the field rolls off to the back straightaway. We'll look ahead the next couple of weeks here in the WCI Parts.com Truck Series. We head to Pocono next week, and then 2 weeks from tonight, it's the Dirt Derby down at Eldora. 125 laps for that one. Then we take an off week. Then Michigan, Bristol, and then we head to the Chase. And the first race in that, Canadian Tire Motorsports Park up there in your neck of the woods, Mitch, as we get set to drop the green flag, though, here tonight at Kentucky. playoff implications could be, or playoff positions could be up for grabs. All it takes is one bad mistake to knock you out of the points. Brian Macklin, one of those drivers on the outside looking in. He has the pole for tonight here at Kentucky. Pace car to pit road. They'll stack them up 2 by 2 by 2. We're racing in the Bluegrass State under the lights.
A good start from Macklin as they make their way to the line here. Edson, though, not going to be too far behind him as they head into turn number 1. Edson going to try and catch up with that 30, but behind him it's a hornet's nest. These guys try to sort everything out.
So Edson gets a good jump there from that outside line. He'll fall 3 truck lengths behind the 30 machine. Then it's Ryan Howard, E.J. O'Rourke, Jason Jacoby. That's the top 5 as they race single file for the first time down into turn number 3 tonight. Chad Coleman, David Comstock, the battle's going to be behind them for around the 8th or so position. Anthony Calantoni in the 84 fighting with J.D. Laird. He'll get the position from the outside. Outside momentum going to be big tonight. We've seen it all week long here at Kentucky. If you can get to the outside of somebody in the middle of the turn, you're most likely going to win the race off unless they pull that slide job like Laird going to try and do off turn 2. Can't quite do it. They'll have to settle in right there. That truck you saw on the inside, that was Dwayne Vincent, one of the drivers that missed the start of the race, had to start from pit road. He'll already be 1 lap down, not the way he wanted to get his night kicked off here in Kentucky.
Not the way he wanted to get it kicked off, but Dwayne Vincent, always seems to be around the front at the end of these things, so we'll see if he can't make his way up through the field. Meanwhile, up front, a little bit of battling going on, but not much. Brian Macklin still out front of Trey Edson and Ryan Howard, but Ryan Howard trying to make a move for that 2nd place going into turn number 3 here, Ben.
Passing going to be the name of the game tonight. When do you make the pass when first caution of the night going to fly here at Kentucky? And we've got a crash on the back straightaway. Mark Creighton in the 80 machine involved in this first one, and boy, it happened the whole length of the backstretch as he and Mike Montesi get together battling for the 26th position in the middle of the back straightaway. That putting us under the caution for the first time tonight here at Kentucky in the WCIparts.com Truck Series.
Replay up on screen now as you see. Interesting little incident there between the 80 of Creighton and honestly not sure what happened there. They just kind of got together. It was kind of an odd situation, Ben.
Yeah, I think the 80 of Creighton may have thought he was going to clear the 45, and there was some slight net code, but nonetheless, there was still going to be contact made between the 2 trucks. Contact was made, puts us under the caution for the first time. 4 laps into this one, about 3 laps there under green. So, first caution of the night, and gives us a good chance to kind of restack everything inside the top 10. We do have a couple takers on pit road. Chad Coleman leads a small group of drivers down for the first round of pit stops tonight. We'll see if fuel strategy has anything to do with the final play on this race. But up front, it's still Brian Macklin. He was being slightly challenged by Trey Edson there before the caution flag flew. Ryan Howard was also doing a little challenging himself for that runner-up spot. Jason Jacoby got around the 41. That's the top 5 there. E.J. O'Rourke rounds it out. David Comstock up to 6th from 11th. Big mover right there. Anthony Calantoni from 13th to 7th. Tommy Ryan 15th to 8th. And Brandon Bowie there in the number 1 machine. Looks to be rounding out the top 10 here as we gonna step away real quick at Kentucky Motor Speedway, or Kentucky Speedway rather. We'll be right back. Don't miss any of the action. It'll be mostly pacing though here on Corner to Corner. We'll be back right here on the Sim Racing Network.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks. Fully dynamic real world cars and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
All right, Watson, let's analyze the chemicals in this cigarette smoke. Cadmium? Check. Formaldehyde? Check. Arsenic?
Sir, isn't arsenic what they used in rat poison?
Yeah. Rat poison.
Oh, what was I thinking, sir? It's not like we're gonna smoke them.
Neither will the rats.
Tobacco is no joke. Cigarette smoke has over 7,000 chemicals. Learn more at thefactsnow.com.
Welcome back to Kentucky Speedway. Lap 7 is going to be the lap we'll restart this 100-lap race at. Macklin, Edson, Howard, Jacoby, O'Rourke. That's the top 5. Comstock, Callan, Tony, Ryan, Bowie, Mushton round out the top 10 as we get set for the restart here. One caution in the book, and kind of just a weird incident there on the backstretch, Mitch. We looked to get a nice green run going there, but now we got to kind of reset everything. A couple drivers dipped in for a handful of tires, others stayed out, so we'll keep an eye on that over the course of this run as well. Nonetheless, though, field set to restart this time by as the lights are off. Top iRacing.com Ford Mustang pace car. Over in turns number 3 and 4, Macklin and Edson going to be the front row. Not much has changed there since the drop of the green flag. It's been Macklin, Edson, Howard, Jacoby for the first 7 laps of this race. We'll see if that changes here on the restart. The pace car down to pit road. Macklin in control of the field. He's in the gas, and we are back underway. Good restart for Edson there on the outside line. Howard kind of missed it down low, and he's got a swarming pack of trucks behind him. Here comes Brendan Bowie coming up the inside a little bit further back, making it 3 wide to make a pass down into turn number 1, trying to move up the field a little bit to the back straightaway. Jacoby and O'Rourke will be the first battle on the racetrack. That's for 4th.
Jacoby and O'Rourke going to be the first battle out there, and another caution here on track.
Caution again. Down the back straightaway. This one for last week's winner, John Casto, involved in an incident. The number 52 gets a piece of the 46. And another one of those incidents where just kind of a misjudgment there. 46 looks like he thought he was clear and tagged the 52, and around it goes. Luckily, only damage from that is from the initial contact. Nobody else got into Casto. But, man, oh man, another weird contact again down the backstretch.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on tonight, guys, or Ben. These guys are just, I don't know, making some questionable moves here early on in the race. Hopefully they get it cleaned up a little bit, but nonetheless, I'm sure that wasn't obviously intentional on JD Laird's part, rather, but just a misjudgment that doesn't really need to be happening this early on in the race.
Absolutely. So we'll keep an eye on the rest of the field. Let's talk about some big movers so far tonight. Chad Cole is up from 21st into the top 10 in 9 laps here at Kentucky. That's a pretty big move there for the big cat. John Mushton is up from 19th to 11th. Kevin Brown, 22nd to 12th. Nick Silver, 25th to 13th. Richard Swavely, 23rd to 14th. And scratch that, he just pitted 24th to 14th. Randy Yoakum. So some big movers inside the top 15, and a handful of big movers inside the top 10 as well. Comstock up from 11th to 6th. Ryan from 15th to 7th. Bowie from 12th to 8th. And he's one of those drivers that really looks to be on the move early on. He was fastest in practice and just didn't quite get the qualifying run that he was hoping for, but certainly looking fast here in the race as well. Now, he is way out of the question as far as points go, is Bowie. I had him circled earlier. He's back in 39th. He's only made 3 events scored so far. He's 260 points out of the lead, way out of the top 14 as well. So he's got a whole lot more work to do than a lot of guys just on the outside of the top 14. But, I think for Bowie, Mitch, it's all about just wins maybe for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I think he's just coming in here, running some races, running a part-time schedule. So Brandon Bowie probably going to be checkers or wreckers here, I'm assuming, tonight. I think it's cool. A lot of guys that, just come on here to have fun every once in a while. It's not all about the points and championships for these guys. They just want to come out and have fun every once in a while, and that's cool too.
Absolutely. Good looking. RacingBids.com, number one. Hopefully Jonathan watching out there and sees as I give those guys over there a shout out. And I'm sure if David Comstock finishes in the top 3 tonight, we'll hear all about how you can get on board with the RacingBids.com crew. He always gives a great Victory Lane interview. Nonetheless, though, one driver hoping to give a Victory Lane interview tonight is Brian Macklin. He has yet to make it to Victory Lane this season. He has been close time and time again. I think he's finished second at least 4 or 5 times. That win has escaped him, though, in all the first 13 races of the season. Does it come tonight here at Kentucky, Mitch? He said last week this was one of his better tracks.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a possibility. I thought Macklin would have won by now for sure. He's been around for a long time and on the iRacing service for a long time, so he knows what he's doing out there. He's just got to put himself in position and get the job done, pick up that one more position that he's been trying to get all season long, but I know he's capable of it for sure.
So we'll keep an eye on Macklin over the course of the race. One driver inside the top 5, E.J. O'Rourke, picked up a win earlier this season at Talladega. Good run for the driver of the 41 tonight so far here at Kentucky. He's pretty safe inside the top 14. He sits 7th in the championship standings heading into tonight, looking for another good run tonight, running the WCI Parts.com scheme here on that Chevrolet Silverado.
That is a sharp-looking paint job, Ben. I really like that. Yellow and the blue really goes nice together. It's sharp looking.
Certainly does. So O'Rourke looking for a good top 5 tonight. Another driver that has kind of eluded Victory Lane this season in really every division, but has been the talk of the show as of late and even earlier in the season. That's Ryan Howard in 33. He'll restart 3rd. He has been close time and time again. Top 5 after top 5, and then a couple top 3s in the mix as well. So we'll see if maybe tonight is Howard's chance to break out and taste Victory Lane. And then, of course, the other driver up there inside the top 5, that's Trey Edson. He's no stranger to Victory Lane. He's got 2 wins so far this season in the Truck Series and a couple more in other series across Sim500 platform. Nonetheless, so lights out atop the iRacing.com Ford Mustang pace car. It's down to the safety of pit road. Macklin out in front of the field for this restart yet again. Green flag is back in the air. We're back racing under the lights here at Kentucky, lap 12 of 100.
Not 12 of 100. These guys just getting started here after a couple cautions. Hopefully we can get a green flag run, but into turn number 1, look at Trey Edson on the outside trying to get around at 30 of Brian Macklin, and off of turn number 2, not going to be able to do it. Macklin clears him, and here comes Ryan Howard on the inside, and yet another caution, Ben, on the track.
Caution out, this one for Nick Timms. Having some contact from the 52. Timms goes around, pretty much single car incident under the initial contact. Timms sideways down in turns number 1 and 2, putting us under the caution for the 3rd time in 13 laps here at Kentucky. Well, it's taken some time to get going here tonight in the Bluegrass State. Everybody, I mean, this is a stout field of trucks. It's close in times. Everybody is comfortable with the setup. Everybody thinks they have a chance to win, but you can't do it this early on. You have to kind of sit back, take a breath, and, well, get your thoughts together, which is exactly what we'll do right here on the Sim Racing Network. We'll keep you corner to corner in case anybody decides to head down pit road. But other than that, we'll take a commercial break and be back just in time for the restart. You're watching the WCI Parts.com Truck Series from Kentucky, live right here on the Sim Racing Network.
All right, Watson, let's analyze the chemicals in this cigarette smoke. Cadmium?
Check.
Formaldehyde?
Check.
Arsenic?
Sir, isn't arsenic what they used in rat poison?
Yeah, isn't arsenic what they use in rat poison?
Oh, what what was I thinking, sir? It's not like we're gonna smoke them.
Neither will the rats.
Tobacco is no joke. Cigarette smoke has over 7,000 chemicals. Learn more at thefactsnow.com.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real-world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Ever dreamed of being paid to dive? Think you can handle the heat of cooking for hundreds of brave troops? Could you deploy a sophisticated communication network in some of the remotest corners of the planet? Can you see yourself delivering essential healthcare in a state-of-the-art portable clinic? Would you like to pull off intense workouts and a paid education? Or execute a precision landing just in time to save a life? Perhaps you'd prefer to master cutting-edge electronic systems in the middle of the ocean. Dare to be extraordinary with the Canadian Armed Forces. Apply for one of over 100 full and part-time careers and acquire sought-after skills and training that will serve you everywhere. A message from the Government of Canada.
Welcome back to Kentucky. Lights are off atop that beautiful iRacing.com Ford Mustang pace car. It's Brian Macklin out in front and really hasn't had to do a lot of defending work. So far early in the run, we had 3 cautions working lap number 17 of 100, almost to the quarter mark of this race. Macklin, Edson, Howard, O'Rourke, and Jacoby. That's the top 5, and then it's Comstock, Ryan, Bowie, Calantoni, Cole rounding out the top 10 as we're set for the restart here. And a lot of these guys have not taken tires since the drop of the green flag, albeit we've only had about 3-4 green flag laps since that initial start. So hopefully that will change as we get set to rack 'em and stack 'em. Down in turn number 4, pace car set to head down to pit road. There it goes, and here comes Brian Macklin, who is in control of everybody behind him. When does he decide to go? It's now, and we're back racing at Kentucky. A great restart for that outside line. Boy, they are nice and tight on one another, heading down into turns number 1 and 2, getting a lot of drafting help as they get set to head to the back straightaway. Howard, if he's not careful, he's going to lose 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 spots here on the restart if he can't get to that outside line. And here comes Edson. Big run through turn 2, and he's going to challenge Macklin for the lead down in 3.
He decides to back out of it last second going into the corner. Maybe a smart decision there by Trey Edson. Going to try and settle in here and get a long green flag run behind him. Everyone's pretty much single filed out. There's a few down on the bottom. The first one on the bottom though, that 33 Ryan Howard. Now he's going to get singled out. But here comes Jason Jacoby. Oh, they almost make contact going into one.
Almost some contact there as Jacoby almost gets the quarter panel of Howard, and he's going to pay for it. He gets shuffled out by Brandon Bowie, and he loses one more spot there to the back straightaway, does that 88 machine. So Jacoby going to go from inside the top 5 to in jeopardy of almost losing a top 10 spot if he's not careful here in the next couple laps. A little bit behind those guys, 3 wide mid-pack with Randy Yoakum for around the 14th position. They get it settled back down to 2 wide there. Now it's just Cole and Brown battling it out for the 14th spot as they race down into turn number 1. Side by side, that duo goes, and they're 2 by 2 behind them as well.
Kevin Brown trying to make that inside line work, not going to be able to do it. It's going to slot up in front or in behind the 20 of Chad Coleman here. And if he's not careful, the 6 of Jonathan Lockhart going to be on his outside, so he's going to want to get up to that top line as soon as he possibly can. And they almost make contact. And that was way closer than it needed to be there between Brown and Lockhart. Going into one. Oh, and what happened to John Mushton? We'll have to get a look at that as well.
Yeah, Mushton real slow, and he's causing a stack up down in turn number 2. Everybody kind of fanning out, trying to get around him. 3 wide there down the back chute as everything goes wild there as he had a problem on the front straightaway. Got up and into the wall off turn 4, battling for the 10th spot, and then got sideways and down into Nick Silver. Great save, but albeit he loses a handful of positions, around 8 to be exact, and a scare there, but for the most part, back straight here at Kentucky. Up front, though, we'll look at the battle for the 5th spot. It's Jason Jacoby challenging David Comstock in that 42. Jacoby 88, Comstock 42. Inside, outside. Here comes Jacoby. A run off of turn 4. Can he clear the 42, though, down the front stretch? No, here comes Comstock with the momentum from the outside. Jacoby's really going to have to send it down into 1 and 2 here. Perform that slide job we talked about earlier. Does he have enough room to do it? He does. And there goes Jacoby. Back to the top 5. He gets sideways, though, off 2. Handful of wheel, and now Comstock peeking again back to the outside. Boy, these guys putting on a show here early on as we close in on the quarter mark.
It's crazy. You'd think this is the last 10 laps, Ben, but it's the first 10 green laps here as we've had a few cautions early. But right now, these guys not giving up, not taking it easy on each other. They're going for it like it's the last lap.
That they are, as Howard and O'Rourke kind of in a small battle there for the 3rd spot at the front of the field. They challenged each other a little bit off turn 4 last time around. O'Rourke got the advantage off the high side, and O'Rourke has found himself up to 3rd there in that 41 machine. Great run for E.J. O'Rourke tonight. Gets a little close for comfort for the wall to the wall that time off turn 4, but keeps it out of it, stays in it, and we stay green. Single file now for a good portion of the top 10. You have to go back to Chad Coleman in that 20 and Randy Yoakum in the 8 to find the first side-by-side battle. That'd be for the 11th position. And here comes Laird as Yoakum gets a piece of the wall. Brown behind him was almost up and into the wall. Some crazy action going on just outside the top 10 back here in the middle of the field.
Definitely exciting to watch here as, Kevin Brown, they almost made contact with that Napa truck. That number, looks to be the number...
Paul Nicholas Cooper
Paul
in the
Nicholas
19.
Cooper, they work into 1 right now. Kevin Brown gonna kind of jump back and say, well, I'm just gonna let him go for now. I don't want to get wrecked here early on in this race. Just lap 26 of 100, so just a quarter of the way through here, Ben. 75 laps to go.
Well, very early in the race, and with 3 wide in front of these guys, Laird, Yoakum, Coleman, it's gonna get tied off 4. Hold on to your seats. Still 3 wide down the front straightaway, and I don't think that's going to change before they get to 1. Here comes Cooper looking for room to make it possibly 4 wide. Yoakum up the track. Here comes Cooper to the inside. 3 wide, now 4 wide off turn 2. It's a salute to the fans at 180 mile an hour.
Unbelievable. These guys doing a great job of not wrecking these things and putting on a show for the fans. Yet as they put a show on for the fans here. Lap 27 now. Still very early on the race for anyone who was wondering, especially if these drivers, want to make it to the end of this race, Ben. They're going to want to tone that down just a little bit.
Wow, so we get it sorted back down to 2 wide, at least for the time being, down in turns number 1 and 2. Yoakum and Coleman still going at it, not giving up easy. Here comes Brown to the outside of Laird to the back straightaway. That'll be a challenge for the 14th position, this time by at the flag stand. Boy, these guys going at it back here. And don't look now, but here comes John Mushton trying to work his way back through the field.
Oh, contact!
Wide, Brown into the side of the 8, almost into the wall, and Brown going to pick up one spot there as Laird got out of shape down on the apron. And now Brown to the outside of Yoakum trying to make up some more ground. Here comes Mushton in that 3 machine working his way back through the field. Another gaggle of trucks back there, and they are tight down the back straightaway.
What a show these guys are putting on. John Mushton trying to make his way up through there after tapping the wall out of turn 4 just a few laps ago, I think 5 or 6 laps ago. So John having a nice recovery here, but he's going to want to be careful because like I just said, you know, it's still early on in this race. You've got to make it to the end of this thing, and there's still lots of time. So these guys really got to calm down here just a little bit and you know, realize where they are at in this race.
This is phenomenal racing. We'll try and keep one eye on this, but we have to go back to the front of the field because we have got a challenge for the lead and a challenge for the runner-up spot. Here comes Jason Jacoby to the inside of that 40 machine. He's got to run to the front straightaway, but Edson uses the power from the outside line, the momentum down the front stretch to propel him back in front of that 88 Silverado, but Jacoby not going to give up. Back to the inside. They'll go side by side for the runner-up spot. Jacoby, here comes a slide job off turn 2. He slides in between the 2 trucks, and now they're all under a blanket down the back straightaway. Look out, that's going to get real tight entering 3. Jacoby, another slider off 4, slides in front of the 30. Macklin a crossover off turn number 4. Macklin trying to lead another lap, but give that one to Jacoby, his first lap led of the night.
By a very small margin, mind you. Here comes Macklin down on the bottom side into turn number 1. He's going to try and get by the 88 of Jason Jacoby, but here comes Jacoby on the outside. He's going to have that run off the corner, and looks like he's going to get clear of the 30 maybe as they head down in turn number 3. He will, and here comes Trey Edson now as Brian V. Macklin going to have to be careful or get back up on that top line rather as they come through 3 and 4. They're going to kind of sort it out here. Here comes Edson going to try and pass him for that second spot. Is he going to get him at the line? Man, that was close.
Close indeed. We give it to Edson there by 1,000th of a second at the line. So Jacoby out in front gets it done with a couple of sliders on each end of the racetrack. How about that? And we think we were talking about your local 3/8 mile dirt track on a Saturday night. No, we're talking about the WCIparts.com Truck Series on a Wednesday night under the lights here in Kentucky. And these guys putting on one hell of a show here live right down here on the Sim Racing Network. Edson up to second, trying to chase down Jacoby. Macklin back to third. Howard fourth. Comstock will round out the top 5. Those guys go single file, at least for the time being. And just as I say that, Howard peeks a nose to the inside of the 30 machine. Won't get anything done right there, so we'll have to regroup, retry again a little bit later on. Back to that gaggle of trucks that was, battling around that 15th position. They've kind of simmered out, at least for the time being, and moved back to around the 19th spot where Sean Casto leads a train of trucks off of turn number 4. I tell you what, right here around the 20th position and outside of the top 20 here, these guys going at it and putting on some great racing, great side-by-side racing back here in the pack.
Doing a great job here in the Sim500. Oh, and look at that 11. Oh, wow. He almost crashed, but he had a really nice save. Oh, he's still saving it.
They're crashing.
They go. There they go.
Bang, into the inside wall goes one truck and back across the traffic. That was Robert Gillenwater in the 4, making hard contact with the inside wall. Boy, knew it was going to happen at some point, and there it goes.
Man, that turned into something huge. I thought he had it saved, Ben. We'll get a replay up here momentarily. And that was unbelievable. He had it saved as we get the replay up right here. You see him going down and maybe taps the apron just a little bit. Goes up the track. I thought he had it saved and then gets loose again. And unfortunately, the 34 and the 4 get involved, and the 22, and man, John Mushton Jr. did a really nice job.
I was just going to say that, yeah, right through. That was Mushton, and boy, luckily there wasn't too many more trucks after coming up through there when Gillenwater got propelled back to the outside of the racetrack. Doug Sigmund got a little piece of it there in the 06 as well. First time getting some green laps on the tires, and now everybody heads down to the service of their crew here at Kentucky Motor Speedway. We'll keep it on corner to corner so you won't miss the pit stops, but we'll take a break right here on the Sim Racing Network. Lap 37 of 100 here in race number 14 in the WCIparts.com Truck Series. We'll be back.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing. The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
All right, Watson, let's analyze the chemicals in this cigarette smoke. Cadmium?
Check.
Formaldehyde?
Check.
Arsenic?
Sir, isn't arsenic what they used in rat poison?
Yeah. Isn't arsenic what they use in rat poison?
Oh, what was I thinking, sir? It's not like we're gonna smoke them.
Neither will the rats.
Tobacco is no joke. Cigarette smoke has over 7,000 chemicals. Learn more at thefactsnow.com.
'29 trucks still on the lead lap here at Kentucky. A handful of them, one or a couple laps down. What I was trying to get at there. Dwayne Vincent 1 lap down. Remember, he started on pit road, lost a lap. Richard Swavely just got 1 lap back. He is now 1 lap down. Jason Barham 2 laps down. Nick Timms behind the wall. Sean Bounty 3 laps down. Robert Gillenwater 3. Jay Graves Jr., Mike Montesi, and Michael Keaton all behind the wall. As we've had a change up at the front of the field. It's Trey Edson that beat the 88 off of pit road. That puts him out in front of the field. Jacoby second. Macklin will be third. Comstock up to fourth. O'Rourke to fifth. Howard lost a handful of spots there. He's back to sixth. Chad Cole up to seventh. Bowie is eighth. Ryan is ninth. And Callan Tony 10th. Lights out on the pace car as we get set to restart this race. Lap 40 here at Kentucky. 61 laps to go. Green flag back in the air. Good restart for Edson. Good restart for Macklin. Great restart for the 41. The inside line got rolling there. And down into turn 1 did they get fanned out. Big time there is Jacoby down to the inside. O'Rourke to the outside. Side by side for third off 2.
Side by side for third. E.J. O'Rourke got the preferred line off of 2, and he's going to clear, looks like, the 88 of Jason Jacoby, but Jacoby gonna dive in and almost makes contact with the left rear of the 41 of EJ O'Rourke. These guys tight going through 3 and 4, and Comstock now sticking his nose in there, and they almost make contact again.
I think there was a door there. Brown is sideways back in the field. He keeps it straight, stays green. But we go back up front. Jacoby gets by the 41. No. O'Rourke battling back on the outside, side by side off 2. O'Rourke, no, a wiggle there, big wiggle out of the 41. Comstock in the mix. Here comes Cole in the 82. Howard there as well. And just about everybody inside the top 10 is under a blanket as Trey Edson looks behind him, Macklin sideways in front of the field through the grass. Some landscape work by Brian Macklin at 150 mile an hour. Bump him back outside the top 20.
Oh, and now he's going to spin. Hopefully it doesn't bring a caution out. And unfortunately for him, it isn't. So Brian Macklin, man, I don't know how that didn't bring a caution out, but they keep it green here and back up front. Edson way out to a big lead here. Lap 42 of 100, and man, that is a tough break for Brian Macklin.
Catch your breath while you can. You may not get another minute, too, as they are almost 3 wide. They are 3 wide in the middle of the pack back there with Casto and a handful of other drivers. That's around the 20th position up front, though. Tail to nose and side-by-side racing aplenty as David Comstock has found his way up to the runner-up spot. Howard to 3rd, O'Rourke to 4th, Tommy Ryan up inside the top 5, and then Bowie, Jacoby, Cole, Coleman, and the battle is for 10th between J.D. Laird and Randy Yoakum off 4.
And Randy Yoakum having a really nice run here tonight, battling in just around or outside the top 10 most of the night here tonight, so he's got to be happy with his run so far, but we'll see where he finishes tonight here, as we still got a long way to go, and these guys are not making it easy on each other. Looks like they almost tried to go 3 wide off of turn 2 there, Ben.
Some great racing here at Kentucky. These truckers always get it done. And how about Anthony DeBarro, who has found his way up to 13th? He's credited starting 6th, but we know that's not right. He started at the tail end of the field from pit road. So 38th or so is where DeBarro started this race, and he has found his way up to 13th.
Nice job here early on by DeBarro. Someone, I saw smoke there. I don't know if someone cut loose ahead of him, but nonetheless, DeBarro doing a really nice job of making his way through the field. And right behind him, Kevin DeBrown in that number 93. Obviously, almost spun out just a few laps ago, so a nice rebound by him here. Lap 45 going to 46. Randy Yoakum, man, these guys are just jousting for position, going crazy. It's lap 46. What are they doing?
They're putting on a show. That's these Sim500. It's week after week. Doesn't matter what lap these guys are on. They always put on a show. They race the whole race. There's no riding in line for a good portion of these guys. They race their hearts out every minute they're on the racetrack, and it is showing as they race off turn 4 there with DeBarro making the big moves. Almost up and inside the top 10 for that number 27 machine.
And right behind him, the 21 Nicholas Cohan, who also started on pit road, missed the start. Both him and his teammate Anthony DeBarro. So those guys coming up through the field together, doing a really nice job of making it up there through there safely. And here comes the 84 of Calantoni, going to duck beneath the 21, and the 8 going to go beneath the 27. And whoa, wow, they got close. DeBarro going to come out with that position off of turn number 4. And here comes Cohan now, going to try and get beneath the 8 of Randy Yoakum.
Looked like it was synchronized there for the teammates. Both pulled a slide job off turn 2. Both had a crossover down in 3, and both cleared that crossover move off of turn 4. Now Cohan trying to find his way up and into the 11th position. 12th. Give it to him over the 8 machine of Randy Yoakum. Yoakum back to the inside, but Cohan will have the advantage from that middle groove over here in 3 and 4. And now DeBarro has set his sights on J.D. Laird, and for a position inside the top 10 up front. Trey Edson leads by 1.1 seconds, the biggest lead anybody has had so far tonight. He holds that lead over David Comstock, Ryan Howard, O'Rourke, and now Brendan Bowie, top 5.
All these guys in the top 5, well, I mean, there's Edson out there by himself, but then they're all just around the lineup. But here comes Bowie underneath the 41 to EJ O'Rourke, going to try and duck it underneath him. Anyway, as off of turn number 4, O'Rourke going to have the run, and Bowie going to get up back in behind him. But here comes Jason Jacoby back up through the field. We saw him do it last green flag run. I think he's going to do it again here, Ben. It's just a matter of once he clears all these guys, if he's going to be able to get to that 40 of Trey Edson, because Trey looks pretty fast out there in clean air.
And Jacoby was up inside the top 3 on the restart there, and then got shuffled back. Kind of got hung out on the inside, got loose off 4 one time, and it dropped him back to 9th, and he's found himself back up to 7th, and just got around Tommy Ryan for 6th, and now looking for a spot back inside the top 5 is that 88 machine. He's on the bumper of Brandon Bowie down into turn number 1. Bowie's in a battle of his own as well, so either one of these guys could step away with that position off of turn number 2. Here comes Bowie inside of O'Rourke. Here comes Jacoby closing up to both of them. Where does the 88 go when he gets there?
See what happens down through 3 and 4 right here. Man, he's close to that 41, down through 3 and 4. Bowie gonna try and slide in front of him. Can't do it, can't get clear of that 41, but Jacoby gonna push that number 1 of Brandon Bowie, looks like, but no, they're gonna go 3 wide. Oh,
Jacoby
geez.
Sideways.
Man, what a save by Jacoby, but man, they're just so aggressive, and they gotta be thinking, lap 52, they still got 50, well, just under 50 laps to get to the front. I know that's not a whole ton of time, but they're going absolutely nuts out there. It's fun to watch, but they got to be careful not to wreck themselves.
Man, what about that save? 170 or so miles per hour sideways, pointed at the inside pit road wall, and was able to pull it back straight. And that was because he got right there on the transition from track to apron, and it just really upset the handling of that Silverado. He's back up to the 6th position. Ryan got around him for a brief moment, and now he sets his sights back on that 41 to get up and into the top 5. And just as they start battling back there, boy, it's picking up behind them as well. Jacoby to the inside of the 41. Chad Cole almost in a 3 wide position off of turn 4 there with Navarro, and he's battling with Coleman as well.
Battling with Coleman as they head into turn number 1 here. The big cat, Chad Cole, trying to make up some positions here. He's really good on the long run, and he wants this thing to go green for the rest of the race if it can. And I guarantee you he's under the helmet just biding his time right now, trying to calculate his moves, in a careful way, but an aggressive way at the same time as he works into 3 and 4 underneath that 20 of Chad Coleman. He can't clear him, so going to be stuck on the bottom for another lap.
Up in front of those guys, lap truck of Doug Sigmund kind of scared the top 5 there for a moment, and now he's going to get right in the thick of things here, and if he's not careful, he is going to be real tight off turn 2. 3 wide now with the lap truck in. Some contact there. I knew that was going to be problems when I saw it, as Sigmund just holding his own there, kind of everybody else rushing up on him, caused a big checkup and a little bit of contact between a couple trucks. We keep it straight, though, and stay green here at Kentucky, working lap number 56 now of 100, just past the halfway point. And I tell you what, these guys have not given us a break at all tonight. We have been covering action from front to back, middle, everywhere on the racetrack. These guys have been going at it every green flag lap.
Lots of battles here at Kentucky as they work through 3 and 4, as Brandon Bowie and Ryan Howard just in a battle there for the 3rd position, but that one settles out for now. But Jacoby now trying to make his way back up yet again after he got real loose on the apron there, but a miraculous save by that 88, and that's why he's in position right now to try and make his way up through the field yet again, as off of turn number 4, not quite able to get to the rear deck lid of that number 1 yet, but he's not going to be held back for long, I don't think. There he goes, he ducks in underneath the 1.
So we'll keep an eye on that, but story developing on the back straightaway. Doug Sigmund, that lap truck just blew a motor, and he may not make it all the way back around to pit road. He's taking the access road now. He may have enough momentum in that 06 to make it to pit road, but if he doesn't, that could bring out a caution here at Kentucky. One driver hoping for a caution would be Brian Macklin in that 30 machine. Remember, led a good portion of the early laps of this race on the restart. Got all sorts of sideways off turn 4. Had a heck of a save through the grass. Ended up spinning it out, though. No caution flew for that incident. He finds himself the last truck on the lead lap, 28th.
And if this thing goes green, he's in danger of going a lap down here, as he's 20 seconds back of the leader as of right now. So Brian Macklin just hoping and praying that he sees that yellow flag come out here. Lap 59 of 100. It's still possible. These guys are still racing really hard as battle is heating up again between Jason Jacoby and the 33 Ryan Howard. Jacoby already gotten by that one of Brandon Bowie, so he's already setting his sights on that 33, and he's going to get clear of him maybe here off of the corner and set his sights on the 42. Now he goes right down to the below the yellow line there on the front straightaway, heading into one. He's going to get beneath the 42 now. Man, that 88 truck is fast right now.
Can he pull the slider off of turn 2, though not going to quite clear the 42. Close call there as he swiped down to the apron. Remember a couple laps ago he did that and had to put on a heck of a save down into turn 1. So Jacoby trying to get back up to the front. Definitely one of, if not the fastest truck on the racetrack right now. But battling side by side for the runner-up spot with Comstock. Give it to Comstock that time by at the line by just a couple thousandths of a second. While those guys battle it out, Trey Edson just loving what he's seeing in his rearview mirror. Jacoby slide job off turn 2. He clears the 42. Comstock doesn't cross over. Veteran move right there. Just kind of gives the 88 a bump. Keeps them both in this thing. And now Jacoby going to try and set his sights on that 40 machine, who has a 1.3 second lead over the rest of the field.
As we go on board with Jason Jacoby, we'll go on board for a lap here. Take a look at what he's doing to make that machine go fast as down in turn 1, lifting off the gas. Maybe a little bit of brake going on there as well. And off of turn number 4, you see sliding up right close to that wall, using every little bit of track that he can to keep the momentum up in that 88 truck. And down into 3, same thing. A little bit less banking down here though, so he's got to wait just a little bit longer to get back to the throttle in 3 and 4. And off of 4, again using every little bit of track that he can, and down onto the apron on the front straightaway to try and cut down that the distance that he's got to go around this track here at Kentucky.
While we were on board with Jacoby there, he gained about a tenth or so, if not more, on the leader. And he also brought the 33 around the 42, and Bowie was able to get around the 42 as well down the back straightaway. So Comstock loses 3 spots in a matter of about 3 laps there. Maybe he's used his stuff up a little bit early in this run, or maybe he's still saving some, expecting this thing to go green all the way to the checkered flag.
Yeah, it's not something you usually see from Comstock. You don't usually see him burn up his tires, early in a race. But you never know. He could have, had issues with the handling, and the setup might just not play into his driving style. So, for Comstock, you would think that he's just saving right now. I just don't see it, though.
So we'll keep an eye on that 42. I tell you what, one driver who just cannot catch a break is the 82 of Chad Cole. It looks like he's got a fast truck, but he can't complete any of the passes that he's trying to make. He just can't find the grip down low that he needs, and he can't get to the outside of any of the trucks that he needs to get around. So he just finds himself down in that inside sucker hole, and now he's losing another spot here to Anthony DeBarro.
Yeah, 3 wide. Oh, he blocks him. He blocks Cohen as they go down the back straightaway, down into 3. They're 3 wide. The 2 teammates got him in a sandwich right now as back to 2 wide. Cohen going to be underneath the 82 of Chad Cole as they work their way off of turn number 4. But Cole should be able to pull him down the front straightaway here, having the outside line, as he's not quite going to clear him into 1, but should get him off of 2.
Cole frustrated after his run on Monday night, looking for maybe a little bit of redemption here this evening. He's got about 10 more trucks to get by if he wants to pick up the win, and I think he needs a little bit more speed to contend with Edson and Jacoby out in front of this field. Speaking of the 2 out in front, Edson being caught by Jacoby lap by lap. It's down to under a second now. We'll check in here at the flag stand and see what it was. Was 0.9 last time, still 0.9 this time. So Jacoby gains a little bit here and there, then loses a tick here and there as well, but nonetheless, though, more times than none gaining on that 40 machine. We'll keep an eye out on that battle as it develops over the next handful of laps. Battle on the racetrack inside the top 10, though, between DeBarro and Ryan, and then you have that Jacoby, and now they're around over in turn number 3. It's J.D. Laird, and more trucks piling in.
And wow, that was a big crash. God's Chalk is in it. Randy Yoakum, after a great run, is in it as well, as we will try and get the replay up here for the viewers. As wow, what happened there? The 38 and the 46 got together. We'll step it back just a little bit more and try and get some context to see some context to see what happened here. Laird kind of scraping the wall, and the 38 just kind of goes up and taps him. And Laird coming down the track to enter turn 3. There's kind of another weird caution, and then obviously everyone else behind him getting into it after the fact. So not a lot of hard contact in that crash there, just a few trucks spinning around.
So that puts us under the caution, though, 4th time here tonight at Kentucky, and that'll be a perfect time for us to head to a commercial break right here as pit stops set to occur. This could be the pit stop of the race, so we'll keep an eye on those two up front on corner to corner. We'll take a commercial and give you an updated lineup when we return just in time for the restart. You're watching the WCIparts.com Truck Series live right here on the Sim Racing Network.
All right, Watson, let's analyze the chemicals in this cigarette smoke. Cadmium?
Check.
Formaldehyde?
Check.
Arsenic?
Sir, isn't arsenic what they used in rat poison?
Yeah, isn't arsenic rat poison?
Oh, what was I thinking, sir? It's not like we're gonna smoke them.
Neither will the rats.
Tobacco is no joke. Cigarette smoke has over 7,000 chemicals. Learn more at thefactsnow.com.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Ever dreamed of being paid to dive? Think you can handle the heat of cooking for hundreds of brave troops? Could you deploy a sophisticated communication network in some of the remotest corners of the planet? Can you see yourself delivering essential healthcare in a state-of-the-art portable clinic? Would you like to pull off intense workouts and a paid education? Or execute a precision landing just in time to save a life? Perhaps you'd prefer to master cutting-edge electronic systems in the middle of the ocean. Dare to be extraordinary with the Canadian Armed Forces. Apply for one of over 100 full and part-time careers and acquire sought-after skills and training that will serve you everywhere. A message from the Government of Canada.
Tonight's broadcast is part of our triple threat streaming service right here on the Sim Racing Network, streaming live to our Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. And we remind you, no matter what platform you're on, to give us a subscribe and turn on notifications so you can be notified whenever you go, or whenever we go live right here on the SRN. Trey Edson beat Jacoby off of pit road and chooses the outside for this restart. So it's Edson, Jacoby, Bowie, O'Rourke, Howard, top 5, Coleman, DeBarro, Cole, Ryan, Comstock, rounding out the top 10. Set for the restart here, lap 71. It is 29 laps to settle it here in the Bluegrass State. We're good on fuel. Should be good through the rest of the race. Green flag back in the air, and boy, did Edson get out to a great start with teammate O'Rourke behind him.
A great start for those two drivers up on the top side as O'Rourke gonna clear the 88 of Jason Jacoby. So Jacoby gonna have some work to do here as Brandon Bowie gonna dive to his inside, try and make his way by the 88 here early on the run while the tires are still fresh, and Ryan Howard lurking back there watching these guys, waiting for them to make a mistake.
So Bowie inside of Jacoby. They'll go side by side for the time being. That's the only side-by-side battle within the top 8 or so. Inside the top 10 is David Comstock battling with Cohan there and Tommy Ryan for a brief moment, but they get it singled out, and to the back straightaway, everybody singled out for the time being. And just as I say that, here comes Jacoby back to the inside of that one machine of Brandon Bowie. Side-by-side battle for the final podium position. They'll take it side-by-side, door-to-door, down into turn number 3 and 4. Jacoby a little wiggle down low. That's going to affect his corner exit speed, and that allows Ryan Howard to get to the outside. And if he's not careful, Howard's going to bring DeBarro with him, and he's really doesn't have a lot of laps left to be having to pick off trucks lap by lap coming through the field again.
Yeah, he definitely is in a position right now that he
Oh,
does
Chad
not want to
Cole
be
is sideways, back straightaway. The big cat spins.
in.
And
Caution.
Mushton, bang, into the side.
Wow, and that is unfortunate for both of those guys. We'll get the replay up, see exactly what transpired here, as we are under, I believe, our 5th caution of the night here in Kentucky. Replay up, going through 1 and 2. Everything looking fine so far. Oh, Chad just gets loose and loses it. And then, unfortunately, John Mushton comes up behind him. And, oh, he got loose too.
Yeah,
John
Mushton was gonna spin either way. So if Cole didn't bring out the caution, the 3 would have done it for us, and they kind of just come together in a very awkward way down at the bottom of the racetrack. Nonetheless, though, caution out again here at Kentucky, and I think, Mitch, that just kind of all boils over from Monday night. The frustration of Cole. He didn't get a good qualifying lap and was trying to work his way through the field, get a good finish tonight, and he had to battle fiercely with a lot of trucks, and I think he was just doing everything he could to get by the 20 machine there, and just kind of overdrove it, and around he went.
Yeah, around he went, and we are going to have some takers on pit road right here, as we have a bunch of them coming in. Wow, as Kevin Brown staying out, Nick Cohan staying out, the 20, Chad Coleman staying out, the 33, Ryan Howard staying out, Trey Edson staying out, but lots of the other guys in the top 10 coming down, maybe for 4, maybe for 2, we'll see here. I'm surprised.
This is interesting indeed. Cole is going to come out with only 2 tires, I do believe. Nope, he didn't even stop in his box. Bowie takes 2. Comstock, one of the first on 4, I do believe. Nope, Comstock going to go with 2 as well. So we're just going to try and catch up with what strategy everybody is on here. Is wow, kind of a shake-up there under this last caution. There's only 3 laps on the tires, not even that. And, oh man, Chad Cole just blew up down the back straightaway, so his night goes from bad to worse. He'll have a DNF tonight now in that number 82. So, but what I was saying, only 3, about 2.5 laps really on that last green flag run. Did we use up that many tires in short of time? Do these guys, think the tires really matter that much?
Well, we've seen that the car is loose, or the truck rather is loose here, a short run and long run, especially we see Mushton and Chad Cole spinning out here to bring out this last caution, but I just don't see that the advantage that they would gain. There's like you said, there's only a couple laps on the tires, so if it was me out there, I would have been staying out absolutely for sure. But obviously, maybe these guys know something that we don't, Ben.
We'll find out. Brandon Bowie will be the first truck on 2 fresh tires, and then behind him, Comstock, O'Rourke, Anthony DeBarro, Jacoby, and then Macklin takes 2 tires to get himself back up to the 12th spot. So his strategy worked out a little bit for a couple of these drivers to gain some positions, including some of those inside the top 5. Coleman, highest he's been tonight, and Cohan started from pit road and has found himself up to 4th. Kevin Brown, really haven't talked much about him except for the couple times he's been sideways and in the middle of a 4-wide battle. He started 22nd, highest he's been tonight, and Jeff Ryan in the 67 there, where he started outside of row number 3, so he's up to 6. So for a couple of these guys, we're closing in on a 20 to go mark here at Kentucky. A couple of these guys may have seen this as their only chance to get inside the top 10 and maybe stay there for the rest of the race.
Yeah, as we say that, will the lights go out this time? No, yes, they will. Lights are out on the pace car, so we're going to get going green next time by. This is going to be, let's just say, an interesting restart, Ben, because we got guys that haven't been up front all day long, and mixed in with them we've got Trey Edson, who's been up front all day long, and back behind them guys that are going to be a lot faster than them, I feel. So this is getting ready to be, let's say, an eventful restart. We'll go with that.
It's going to be fun for sure, and I don't think the excitement level is going to drop off at any point over the next 22 laps here in the Bluegrass State. If you're a Sim500 member, be sure to join us this Friday night, midnight, for the Midnight Thunder series with the K&N cars over at Texas. Then join us Sunday, New Hampshire Motor Speedway. That'll be live right here on the Sim Racing Network for the Kick-Ass Sunday series with the Xfinity cars. New Hampshire on Monday for the Trans-Service Cup, and next week here in the WCIparts.com Truck Series, it's Pocono Raceway right here live on the Sim Racing Network. 2x2 the field is, 22 laps to go for the restart, or after the restart here. Pace car pit road, it's Trey Edson, Ryan Howard. We're a little bit mixed up on tire strategy. We'll see how it all shapes out here in the final 22.
A great start there for Trey Edson as Ryan Howard was trying to time it, wasn't able to do it. 3 wide going into turn number 1 here. That's the 88 of Jason Jacoby on the bottom side, trying to make something happen. Man, what a battle we got going on here. 3 wide through a lot of the field. As here comes Jacoby down the bottom. 4 wide down the back straightaway. As they work their way into turn 3, they're going to want to get single filed out here, as they're still halfway, kind of 4 wide, as they work their way through 3 and 4. 3 wide, 2 rows deep back there.
4
wow.
Now 5 wide for
There
a moment.
Castro.
Castro through the grass. Hang on. He's going to go down pit road for the 52. We stay green, though, here at Kentucky. Still 3 wide up at the front of the field. Let's go up to the battle for 3rd. Look at that. 3 wide for the 3rd spot on the racetrack. Chad Coleman has it. Here comes Cohan. Brown is in the mix in the 93. Bowie's there in the 1. Remember, Bowie, freshest tires out of the whole group, and he's bringing Comstock and Jacoby with him. Bowie clears the 92. Sets his sights now on Cohan. Now, a little scratch that. The 93 of Brown back to the inside. Almost contact between Bowie and Cohan. Some close racing here inside the top 5. Meanwhile, the 2 leaders, Edson, Howard, kind of running away with the deal. Back straightaway, 3 wide again. Jacoby, Comstock, fresh tires, splitting the old tires. And the 93 down into turn number 3. Comstock overdrives the turn, slides up the racetrack. Up the hill goes the 42. Jacoby wiggles. What a great race these guys are putting on. So much action.
3 wide, still going on the front straightaway. Brian Macklin is back in the fight. As early in the race, he had issues, spun and went to the back.
And now he's crashing.
Wow, there they go. O'Rourke, bang, and he is spun here at Kentucky, going down the back straightaway, and that lived up to the expectation I had for it. I'm just going to say that. That was incredible.
Holy cow. And for the most part, that was a single car incident with O'Rourke getting sideways. Nick Silver was the other truck that kind of got involved after Randy Yoakum loses it up against the wall after avoiding O'Rourke. Those two make some pretty heavy contact, but nonetheless a fairly small crash considering where it occurred.
That should have been a lot bigger than what it was, absolutely, Ben, as O'Rourke did a really nice job of saving that car. You see week in and week out with this guy, he just seems to have a knack for saving these things. He always makes the most ridiculous, impossible saves. So a nice job there by EJ O'Rourke to get that thing back straightened out. as working lap 83 now, and I don't think this is going to get any more tame. I think it's going to be just as crazy on this next restart. You got Chad Coleman back there in third, who's going to be hungry. Oh, and they're coming back down pit road.
Oh, my.
Wow. As the top 5 stay out, the rest of them come down pit road. Jason Jacoby leading those guys down pit road. So this is going to get more interesting yet, Ben.
Wow. Paul Nicholas Cooper going to stay out, so we'll have 6 trucks again with no tires, and the rest of the field will have tires. As now it's just a question of how many does the rest of the field have. Boy, this tire deal is shocking, to say the very least. A good portion of those top 5 don't have any tires. DeBarro going to take 2. Looks like the rest of the field behind him going to take 4.
Wow. That's all. That's the only word I can really say right now, Ben, is wow, because these guys are putting on a show for the ages right here tonight at Kentucky in the Sim500 WCIparts.com Truck Series. And let me tell you, they must be stressed out down there, but I'm having fun watching.
Yeah, as am I. I'm having fun. I'm out of breath. I am, well, just about every emotion you can be up here in the booth. This thing is crazy for sure. We're going to restart this thing with around 13, 14 to go. And wow, it's only going to get crazier from here, I do believe. These guys putting on some phenomenal racing here at Kentucky. 6 cars with no tires. Let's kind of restack everything here. So a couple of laps ago, a couple restarts ago, Edson, Howard, and Coleman and Cohan all stayed out. So they're on the oldest tires. Brendan Bowie has about 4 lap fresher right side tires than the cars in front of him. Paul Nicholas Cooper also has about 4 lap fresher tires than those guys as well. Now, DeBarro has fresh right side tires. Left side's a little older, and everybody behind him on new tires. So I think I got the strategy right there on most trucks, and boy, just pick your stick out of the bucket, and whoever's name is on it can pretty much win if they're inside the top 10. These guys all competitive, and it's really up for grabs now here at Kentucky, and I think it's going to be a wild restart coming up. So while we get ready for that, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. Welcome back to Kentucky Motor Speedway as we get set to turn the lights up top the iRacing.com Ford Mustang pace car. Let's see if we can get a quick word in with one of the drivers getting set to restart this thing here, and about to get a little wild back there in the field. Jason Jacoby, Ben Kilcrease, got a copy?
Hey, Ben, I got you, sir. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I bet you've got your handful down there in that number 88 Silverado. It's been a fun race so far. You're going to restart here in 8th. It's going to be wild. How do you get up there and into the top 3?
Oh, boy, I just have to do something that won't wreck myself or jeopardize myself, because, you know, when you're racing, you got to take all things into account, the other guys around you. And for me personally, even if I get wrecked, I blame it on myself, because, you know, I kind of see it coming sometimes and still allow it to happen. So just got to drive smart and try to get up to the front. And Ben, Mitch, thank you guys so much for calling this. I want to say hey to everyone out there watching, and it's definitely going to be a fun one.
It's going to be a fun one indeed. Have fun down there on the track. We'll do the same up here in the booth, and good luck in these final 14.
Thank you, sir. See you guys.
There you have it. Jason Jacoby set to restart in the 8th position. And, you know, I think the way he sounded, Mitch, he's okay if he crashes out, as long as he crashes out while going for the win. Yeah, good mindset to have, I guess.
Yeah, for him. Maybe not for the rest of the field, but we'll see what he can do here as we work. While pace car is about to break off, Ben, here we go.
Yeah, set to restart. 14 to go. We are well inside crunch time, 2 by 2. Watch for the tire spin up front. Green flag back in the air, back underway in the Bluegrass State. And boy, does Trey Edson get off to a good jump, but remember, he's got some fresh tires a couple rows behind him, so he's going to have to get on the move and on the move fast.
He's going to have to do that, and he's going to have to do it fast like you say. But here comes Ryan Howard, 3 wide off of turn number 2. He's going to have to get out of it before he gets into the wall. And here comes Cohan 3 wide now, putting Brandon Bowie in the middle of him and Chad Coleman down in turn number 3. Coleman going to slide back a little bit. Of course, Bowie with the freshest tires right here in the top 3. Here he comes off of turn number 4. He's going to make a run for that lead after he gets clear of that number 21 of Nicholas Cohan.
3 by 3 by 3 here at Kentucky. In the final laps, it's all Edson out front. Great battle for the 3rd spot between about 17 trucks. Look at DeBarro through the middle in that 27 machine. Here comes Jacoby making it 3 wide. They're crashing into turn 3. Cooper is around and spins by himself, putting us under caution. Bam, there's another hit there with the 38, putting us under caution yet again, as that was going to get wild.
And
I said it was going to get wild. It was already
wild. Yeah, it was going to get wilder. I don't know if wilder is a word, but I'm using it. I don't even care. Yeah, I don't know what exactly happened there with Paul Nicholas Cooper. Oh, it looks like the 19 just moves down a little bit and then turns himself off of the nose and then does the hook and just goes up the hill and unfortunately catches the number 38 of Swavely up. So unfortunate for Swavely there, but nonetheless under our, I believe, 7th caution, maybe the 8th. I don't know. I've lost count, Ben. I don't even have my mind anymore. I don't know where it went. I lost it.
Well, we're going to regroup. We're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll restart this race with around 8 to go at Kentucky. I need to obviously do some voice training as well under this caution. So we're going to take a break. We're going to keep everything on corner to corner just in case anything happens under caution because, you know, in this race, anything is possible now. We'll be back just in time for the restart, and we'll take you all the way to the checkered flag. You're watching the WCIParts.com Truck Series and Sim500 competition live right here on the Sim Racing Network.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
All right, Watson, let's analyze the chemicals in this cigarette smoke. Cadmium?
Check.
Formaldehyde?
Check.
Arsenic?
Sir, isn't arsenic what they used in rat poison?
Yeah, isn't arsenic what they used in rat poison?
Oh, what was I thinking, sir? It's not like we're gonna smoke them.
Neither will the rats.
Tobacco is no joke. Cigarette smoke has over 7,000 chemicals. Learn more at thefactsnow.com.
Ever dreamed of being paid to dive? Think you can handle the heat of cooking for hundreds of brave troops? Could you deploy a sophisticated communication network in some of the remotest corners of the planet? Can you see yourself delivering essential healthcare in a state-of-the-art portable clinic? Would you like to pull off intense workouts and a paid education? Or execute a precision landing just in time to save a life? Perhaps you'd prefer to master cutting-edge electronic systems in the middle of the ocean. Dare to be extraordinary with the Canadian Armed Forces. Apply for one of over 100 full and part-time careers and acquire sought-after skills and training that will serve you everywhere. A message from the Government of Canada.
Welcome back to Kentucky Speedway and the WCIparts.com Truck Series here in Sim500 competition. There's been a handful of cautions on the racetrack, and if you'd like to be notified in your sim ring when a caution comes out by a plethora of bright flashing yellow LEDs, head on over to iRacingIFlag.com. Check out the iFlag and the digital pit box and all the other goodies they have over at iRacingIFlag.com. Trey Edson, your leader. Brandon Bowie will restart second. Howard, Cohan, DeBarro, that's the top 5. Pace car to pit road, 8 to go from Kentucky. Green flag back in the air. We're back racing, and another good restart for the 40. He's just got to do that, and he may be able to set sail here, but I don't know. The 1 has a little fresher tires than the 40 machine. They'll go down into turn number 1. Here comes the 42 of Comstock. He's got fresher tires than everybody on the racetrack.
Comstock got the freshest tires, but will he be able to make his way through traffic? He's trying to get above the 33 of Ryan Howard right now, going down the back. He will, and just a matter of time before he tries to get by the 33 of Ryan Howard. They're too wide, about 4 deep there. Kevin DeBrown behind them, and Anthony DeBarro, Coleman, Macklin, Jacoby. Those guys all trying to sort it out there, but up front, look at Brandon Bowie. He's making his way up to the back, the bumper of the 40 of Trey Edson.
Still 2 by 2 through a good portion of the field. Surprisingly, I figured we'd see it 3 wide, at least by now. There's still time, though, as we close in. This time by at the line, it'll be 6 to go. Close call there as DeBarro cuts across the nose of the 93. Brown pushes up a little bit, allows Macklin to get side by side. Here comes Jacoby to the inside. Some contact there. Macklin sideways, saves it, and continues to race 3 wide down the front straightaway. Great racing for that 6th position down into turns number 1 and 2. Jacoby sent it in deep. He gets to 93. Brown goes around and bang into the wall, and he gets hit again. And the motor going to expire on that number 93 after a good run here at Kentucky. He spins it out in turn 2.
And gets spun by the. Well, we'll see. Look at the replay up and see exactly what happened. Who went up? Who went down? As replay is up going into turn number 1 right here. Brown tries to get a run through the center of the corner. Looks like they just maybe a little bit of netcode got together there. Collects the 20 of Chad Coleman, and unfortunately for Brown, his night will be over. And 5 to go. So might have a green-white checkered here. Might be 5 to go when we get the green. But nonetheless, it doesn't change the fact that this is going to be an absolutely insane restart. Brandon Bowie's going to be starting 2nd. Comstock's going to be starting 4th with the freshest tires on track, so this is going to get good.
It certainly is, and like you mentioned, green-white checkered here at Kentucky to settle this one, and I don't think we'll see anybody come down pit road this time by. I think the final pit stop has been made, so whatever tires you're on is what you got. And for Trey Edson, he's got the oldest ones in the field in that number 40 machine. Bowie's got a little bit fresher rights than he does. Cohan on the same tires as the 40. And then Comstock there in the 42. He has inched his way closer and closer, but I don't know if 3 miles is going to be enough to get the job done.
I just don't know. I don't think it is going to be enough, Ben, as I think the best shot on track is going to be the 1 or the 42. And speaking of the 1 of Brandon Bowie, I'm going to try and dial him up on the radio. Brandon Bowie, Mitch Rillo up in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Brandon, that number 1 truck, the RacingBiz.com truck's looking really good out there tonight. You got a lot fresher tires here than Trey Edson. Do you think you got what it takes to get by him and win this thing?
I think it definitely got a shot. Unfortunately, the cautions are just killing the momentum every single time. If we can actually stay green for the rest of the race, maybe I have a shot. That would be a little difficult, have to be a little aggressive, but I mean, if the opportunity's there, I'm gonna try to take it.
Absolutely, and describe how this truck is driving tonight. It looks pretty loose on corner exit, and even through the center for that matter. And where's the preferred line where you want to be tonight here?
Uh, yeah, in the beginning of the race, I noticed that the bottom line was okay, but the middle seemed to be pretty good as well. I kind of learned some things from some of the other drivers, and then I noticed that the bottom line was the preferred lane. So I started running there, and that's when I really started to pick up spots.
All right, Brian, we'll let you get back to it. Pace car lights are not off yet. Should be off next time by, and we'll get ready to go green and see if you have a shot here to win this thing. Good luck.
All right, thanks, guys.
That was the number 1 of Brandon Bowie, and try and get him back down there with his team as working lap 98 here of 100. I believe it's going to be a green-white checkered here, Ben, as they work down the back straightaway. Should get the lights off next time.
Well, here's the interesting part. We're going to get the 1 to go signal this time by, which will have us restarting with 1 to go in the race. So I think that it's only going to be a 1-lap shootout here at Kentucky.
I think in that case, I'm not 100% sure, but I believe it will be a green-white checkered in that case. If the race is gonna end with a 1-lap, well, you might be right. I don't know how everything works that if they're gonna make this a green-white checkered or not. But we're certainly gonna find out, as we'll try and get that information from somebody, one of the race officials maybe. I would hate to call it come to the line and it actually ends up being the white flag instead of the checkered.
Okay, so yeah, it has been confirmed there will be a green-white checkered. So we've never faced that situation before, but good kudos to iRacing putting it into the code there to allow that to happen. So 2 laps here. It'll be 101 laps versus 100 scheduled at Kentucky. Here's how the green-white checkered works. We'll get the green flag this time by. If the caution flies before the yellow flag, before the white flag rather, the caution flies before the white flag, we'll go back to the last scoring loop, and that is how we'll score the finish of the race. However, if we make it to the white flag, we'll race it out to the checkered. Here we go. It is Trey Edson, Brandon Bowie, Nicholas Cohan, David Comstock, and Anthony DeBarro, top 5. Ryan Howard, Brian Macklin, Jason Jacoby, James Shipman from 36th up to 9th. Haven't even mentioned him tonight. How about that for the 60? And Chad Coleman round out the top 10. Here we go. Either checkers or wreckers, I got a feeling, in the final 2 laps at Kentucky. 3 miles separating one of these drivers from victory lane. Who is going to get the checkered flag? Green flag back in the air. No. Back racing. 2 to go. Green, white, checkered.
Green, white, checkered, and a really good start for the 40 of Trey Edson here. Brandon Bowie going to have to try and make his way around the outside of the 21 Nicholas Cohan. Through 1 and 2 if he's got a shot at this. He cannot slide back any further than he already has. Here they go through 1 and 2. Is it going to get around the outside of him? Yes, he is. Down the back straightaway. Here comes Brandon Bowie. He's going to have to make it quick.
Gonna have to get there and gonna have to get there quick, and he can't do a lot of side-by-side battling. Cohan gets a little piece of the apron. DeBarro up into Comstock. Howard goes around. The white flag is, the caution is out.
Oh, there it is. Caution
waves, and that does it. Here at Kentucky, it's gonna be Trey Edson to win this race.
Wow, and that was, I don't know if Bowie would have had a shot at it, but it would have been close. It would have been a really good finish coming down to the line, but unfortunately back there, those guys spun around. We'll try and get a replay here for you guys once we find out who it was.
Ryan Howard in the 33.
Ryan Howard, and unfortunate for him, he had a really good run here tonight. Ryan Howard did, and now finds himself on the tow truck here late in the going. As we get the replay up, we'll see exactly what went down there coming through 3 and 4. As there they go into 3 and making their way through 3 and 4. Oh, and the Jacoby machine got into the left rear, the 33 of Ryan Howard. So Ryan Howard not going to be happy there. Just a hard race coming out of the end of this thing. Guys trying to get every position they can. But Trey Edson going to win this race here tonight with a little bit of strategy. Staying out, had the oldest tires and was able to hold them off.
That he did, and we'll get to watch his victory celebrations coming up right here on the Sim Racing Network. Coming home second was Brandon Bowie. Nicholas Cohan from pit road at the start of this race all the way up to third at the finish. We'll talk to those drivers and at the post-race show coming up right after this. You'll catch the victory celebrations on Corner to Corner. Don't go anywhere. Post-race interviews up next right here on the Sim Racing Network.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Welcome back to Kentucky Speedway, set for the podium interviews, and for the first one we'll send it down to Mitch Rollo, who's caught up with the driver who finished third tonight after starting from pit road. How did he make his way through the field?
Down here with Nick Cohan, and Nick, that was a heck of a run through the field. Talk me through your race. What happened there at the start? Was that planned, or did you accidentally miss the grid there?
No, believe it or not, it was actually planned. I haven't ran the trucks in a long time, and the slot cars that we race on Monday are a lot different than these trucks. So I didn't want to be in the middle of everything with really only like 50 minutes of practice. So I figured it'd be better to just ride along in the back and try and pick up, how to pass and everything. I didn't want to be in the middle of all that. We just took my time. Making passes and just taking care of my tires, figuring out how to save it for the long run, and just it was kind of tricky because it was basically the first 40 laps were practice for me yet because I really didn't get much practice. So it was a lot of fun though. These trucks are a lot more fun than the Cup cars on Monday.
As 15 minutes of practice to third in the race, not a bad achievement there, Nick. Is there anyone you want to thank here for your third place run tonight?
I just got to thank Toyota, CJ Automotive, all my teammates at Disney Motorsports. You guys for putting this together, and Sim500.
That was Nick Cohan, your third place finisher here tonight, Ben. I'm going to go down a little bit further down pit road and look for the one of Brandon Bowie. We were just talking to him earlier in the booth.
Just a couple laps ago, it seems like, as Brandon Bowie found his way from 12th all the way up to runner-up tonight here at Kentucky. He had some wild moments and may have had a chance at the win had that last caution not flown. Mitch, what's he got to say about the race tonight?
Down here with Brandon Bowie, now just a little bit down from Nick Cohan. And Brandon, we were just talking to you a couple laps before that last restart took place, and not quite able to get it done, but really, really good run for that number one car. Talk me through your race.
Actually, I think that's 2 weeks in a row. I think you guys jinxed me. No, I'm just joking. But no, I mean, we definitely had a great truck today. We did last week as well, but of course, things happen. But this week was just too many cautions. That kind of thwarted my chance of actually getting up there. But good job to Trey. He made that gutsy call and stayed out. But our race was pretty laid back. It was just all about just trying to stay up here in the top 10. Like I was saying earlier, I kind of rode around in the middle lane, tried to high lane a little bit, but could tell it just was nothing there. Kind of learned some things from a couple other drivers, saw the line and lane that they were running, so I tried to kind of mimic what they were doing. And then I think after that long run that we had, start running the low lane, start to pick up spots. And on that, the last time I came in, took 2 tires, just to try and see if I can pick up the positions, which I did. But again, too many cautions, ran out of time. So hopefully we can just keep those momentum up and go next week and see what happens.
Yeah, that commentator's curse, man. I tell you, it's a real pain in the behind as we get you yet again with that commentator's curse. We'll make sure we don't do that to you next week. Brandon, is there anyone you want to thank here for your run tonight?
Yeah, I got to thank racingbids.com. Great sponsor. They've been a sponsor with me pretty much all this year in the different leagues I've run in. So thanks to them. Check them out on racingbids.com. They also have a Facebook page. Check them out. They do raffles and giveaways and things like that. Very live atmospheres. A lot of fun. I got to also thank Commodore's Garage for helping as well. Just learn the ins and outs of building setups and stuff like that. Check them out. They also have a Facebook page as well. Got to thank family, friends, you guys for broadcasting the race. And that's about it.
Brandon, I appreciate your time, and congratulations on your second place finish tonight here.
All right, thanks, guys.
Ben, that was second place finisher Brandon Bowie, and I believe you have caught up with the winner of tonight's race, that number 40 of Trey Edson.
Absolutely, Trey Edson. Once you got out in clean air, man, that thing was a rocket ship. Was clean air really that important to propelling you to victory lane here tonight?
I don't know about the air part of it. I don't think it's as critical as it is as we all experience on Mondays. But I think just controlling the restarts and then Macklin, I think you're talking about the one big lead that I got was when Macklin kind of bottlenecked the field up when he got loose off 4. Jacoby was slowly catching me there at the end of that run for that caution. I don't know what he was doing, but he was special tonight. He had the bottom groove working. I was tight when I went down there, but the cautions worked out, and yeah, just controlling the restarts was key to kind of getting a gap and then letting everybody else kind of race like hell.
Wild behind you, but pretty calm for the leader out in front. You had to deal with some racing though earlier in the race. How was the racing side by side here at Kentucky? Hard to make passes down low, and you with the momentum from the top side.
Yeah, because it was kind of like I said there a second ago. What we experienced Monday, I thought going into the race is going to be the same thing, to where it was going to be a choo-choo train, and you just protect that right rear and don't let anybody get out there. But I didn't really get too far back in the pack. I mean, I started second, and I don't think I was further back than that all night. So I followed Macklin there for a little bit, kind of pushed him along, and I never. Trying to think, man. I honestly don't feel like I was ever under pressure. Jacoby got by me, but hell, I couldn't even put up a fight. So he was probably the only one. I don't know how I never really got to race David, which was unusual. So I don't know. I don't know how I would have defended right there if we stayed green and the 4 fresh tires would have came and got me.
Win number 3 though here in the season. Who gets it done for you behind the scenes, Trey?
Kick-Ass Beef Jerky, man. The big sponsor of the league, part of the Sunday night series, I think. I got to thank WCI Parts for jumping on board for this series and you guys. And it's been a fun season. This is one of the series I get to actually focus and run the whole race and not have to worry about changing diapers or feeding bottles. Y'all know my Monday scenario. So it's been a good season. Just trying to keep your name up there and get to the chase, and that's when it goes crazy.
My work to turn my microphone on. Looking forward to it. Heading to Pocono next week. Looking for win number 4 there. We'll see you next Wednesday.
All right, man. You guys have a good one.
There you have it. Trey Edson. Win number 3 tonight comes at Kentucky. And, well, the cautions helped out a lot, but pretty dominant once he got out in front there.
Dominant he was, Trey Edson. One of the guys in this series that you always expect to be running up front and battling for wins, and he dominated here tonight. Jason Jacoby, if the cautions would have fell Jason's way, he might have been in a better position, but once he got back there in traffic, it was the Trey Edson show, and he never looked back.
Absolutely. So we thank everybody for tuning in, though, tonight here at Kentucky. It was a wild one for sure, and be sure to share the replay with all your friends, family. Let them know what you do on your Wednesday nights, how you spend it, and you never know. You might entice somebody to join iRacing, be a part of the community, and then help grow Sim500. If you're interested in joining here at Sim500, all you have to do, head over to sim500.com. All the info there for you. Like them on Facebook, just search Sim500 Esports Racing League. Like us on Facebook as well, the Sim Racing Network. But that'll do it for tonight. And for Mitch Rollo, I am Ben Kilcrease. We'll see you next Wednesday night right here on the Sim Racing Network from the Pocono Mountains of Pennsylvania. Good night from Kentucky. Remember, when you're out there on the road, to put that phone down. We'll see you then.